create things that prepare upon earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, created he him, male and female, created he them. And God said, blessed. And God said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you herbs, the very seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, and they which is the fruits of the tree yielding the seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and to sow. And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. And in evening and the morning were the sixth day. So, when God created everything, you know what he did? God never created two things at a time. He created man just once, and he created female just once. And after that, when he finished creating everything, what he did was that he gave us power, he gave us grace, he gave us a saving culture, he gave us a system thinking mind, he gave us the passion, he gave us potentials, he gave us everything that we could ask for. And to be honest, right, guys, the thing is, apart from all these things that he's giving to us, he gave us that mind that we could be able to think like God. And he said, as a matter of fact, there will be a God who's only a wish God to take over, to subdue, to create, to know. And this is where knowledge comes from. The word knowledge, K-N-O-W, is to know things. If you don't read things, you can't know things. If you don't travel, you can't know things. And the L in knowledge is learning, and that L is also leveraging. And when you look at that L, because you can't learn if you don't leverage the books, the mentors, the people who see our pastors, our friends, our rich colleagues, the poor ones. We all learn in one way or the other from every one of them. It's leveraging. And when you know all these things, what the rich do is that they put a system in place. Do you agree with me? Everything you use is a system. It is a system. And when you look at all these things we're talking about as youths, we should be creative, we should not be consumers. Because it's either you consume or you create. And how can you create things when you've not been able to put up a system? The mobile phone you use, network you use, it's a system. And how do you do this? When you create that L, it's still leveraging the land. Then when you have the system in place, you use it to have an edge over the wall. And that is where no L edge comes in. That's knowledge. When you have a system in place, then you can recruit the poor, you can recruit colleagues, you can recruit friends, you can go into partnership. You work for one person or the other, or you're starting your company, you have to have a system in place. You agree? If you operate a business here and you don't have a website, you can't be in business. Because you're not putting a system in place. So you should be thinking system. So how do we develop a certain culture? Because most times, as youths, in my former church, no matter anything we want to do, we come together, we partner together, we look at how we can strengthen ourselves, how we can create that thing, how we can make things happen. Because the youths are the lifeline of the kingdom. Myself, we said, we are the lifeline of the church, and we are the church in the church. So, when you look at this, I want to give you guys some modes or some videos of saving culture. So, what is saving? Saving is setting aside or keeping things aside for a particular purpose. That's general norms of what we call things. Saving is something that is naturally not normal for everybody. It's never easy. Because we don't think. When you say you look at the future, not everybody has a vision. But when God created us, if you remember, He said to us that He's giving us power, He's giving us dominion, He's giving us authority, He's giving us to create, to subdue, to overtake, and to put system in place. And as a matter of fact today, that's why He's in the world. It's for those who can think, those who are putting in systems, those who are saving, those who are investing. So, there is a man called Russell Conwell. This man, there is a book he wrote. It is called Acres of Diamond. He had one of the most, or the highest acres of land in southern Africa, in this part of the world. And he was into agriculture. But there was a time he saw his friends, every one of them, they're all traveling, they're looking for green pastures. They all want to be better, they want to design a good future. Because, it's just like today we are. Everybody wants to go to Canada, go to the UK, they want to go to Paris, someone wants to go to Sweden, someone wants to go to Germany, and things like that. And when you look at all these things, it is not because they go the miles. It is, does God want me to be there at that time? I tell you, there are some things that we youths could do in South Africa that we can be successful than those in Ghana. And there are so many businesses, there are so many opportunities in South Africa that our eyes are not open to. On a daily basis, I don't even get to find time to sleep because I'm just seeing opportunities everywhere. So this man, since all his friends, they're all traveling, he now sold that land to one of his friends. And the guy bought it. Con Russell, he relocated to Holland to find a desired future. He went because the only thing you know in those days were gold, diamond, silver, and he went over. And where he was, his friend that bought that in Southern Africa. One day, because he continued agriculture, he found a stone on one of the farms. And he said, "Oh, this looks like a glass, something precious." And he kept it in his office, just abandoned it. And he kept on, all the workers, everybody was busy working in that farm. So, what now happened is that one very day, his friend now came to that office and said, "Hey man, this looks like something precious. Can we take it to the lab?" And they were able to agree. He took it to the lab, and they discovered that it was diamond. Acres of Diamond is the title of that book. Then at the end of the day, they now discovered that land has diamond. You know what happened? They now start carrying out research on that land. That very land in Southern Africa is the most largest land called Acres of Diamond till today. The best ever is being all gravitated from that land today. And that land is stinkingly rich. One lesson that we're coming out from here, the guy who sold the place was in Holland, he died, they buried him, they sent him back to Southern Africa because he's from here. When you look at it, it takes patience, it takes creativity, it takes passion, it takes tenacity, consistency. It builds that within itself. Now, imagine that friend would have actually resold that land without thinking of the future, which is the silviculture. Let's leave that. Why do we need to save? And do you know, I've met so many friends, so many mentees across the world. As a matter of fact, I've been to places. I've stayed, I've lived in places, and I've seen a lot. So, do you know that no matter the money you make, there is a way you can save something out of it? I always tell people, all my mentees, any money you make, 70% should be for your rents, your expenses and all those kind of stuff. Your phone bills, your day-to-day normal activities, no matter how much it is, 30% should be divided. 10% should go into charity or tax and tithes, 20% should go into savings or 10%. Then you can decide. Sometimes it's so sad when you see some people that out of the savings they have, still yet they still go over to do a labor for clothing, for shoes, for cars. They mortgage it. And what does the word mortgage? It's mortuary gauge. You are mortgaging your own destiny. I'm one of those fans of when you want to buy anything, just buy it cash. Because cash is king. Is it that you can afford it? Or look at the future. It's better to look poor and to be building a richer future for generations to come. The goal should be that. I don't judge people by the way they look. I don't judge them by what they do. And the major essence of why we're discussing this is for us to have a new reorientation. Because the rich never use negative words like ish, nay, like I can't afford it, I can't do it, it's not possible. Your positive words should be, yes, I can. I'm going to create it. I'm going to be over it. It's possible. In my world, there is nothing that's impossible. Nothing that is impossible in my world. We might, or as a group, we might not be able to do it then, but we'll surely crack it. So, when you look at what I've said so far, I'll be discussing about how do we develop those saving culture? How do we create opportunities, wealth for our kids, for their kids to come? And how can we be able to manage what we have? You get it? Fantastic. I had an event in 2020. She used to be an architect, and it's all beautiful. There were some of the properties that we were selling at that point. And she opted for 2 bedrooms, 2 sets of twin bedrooms. And it was during COVID, March. And that was when I got to South Africa. And she said to me, mentor, help me look at opportunities of what we can do. Because I want to start saving, I want to start investing, I want to start. And she was making huge amount of money, millions. But I can't tell you. Then I went up there, told her, you know what? You know the road is red, because she's been into my session. And she now got into those, and she was paying monthly. And I told her, you know what? You can actually pay more than monthly payments for that property. Then things happened. 2021, she lost her job. The contract was terminated. But she's paid almost 60% of each of those houses. You know what happened? Because properties always have documentation. So the best advice I gave to her is, why not sell? Why not collapse the 2 and just pick one of them? Every day I wake up, for that week, I always remember that word and messages and testimonies. He even went to our office as well, saying, because of mental, I wouldn't have been in landlady at this young age. So she became a landlady in one of those prominent locations across the world, but I'm not going to talk about location. So, if she was not saving during COVID time, where everybody was complaining, if she did not have money saved or invested into business there, into properties there, she would have actually been bankrupt. So, she sent me a message to say, mentor, Thank you very much for your words to myself, my family. You've made us to become a millionaire with what we couldn't see afar. So why do we need savings? We need savings. We need to save because it is the wise thing to do. Not because it is an option. It is only the wise that save. When you look at it, if you don't save, you can't have funds to set aside for investment. You know? And opportunities doesn't come easily. They come when you're not prepared. Opportunities doesn't come in a showcase, in a suit. It comes when you don't even expect it. If you save, you'll be able to make use of those opportunities. And when you save, you'll be able to send your money on an assignment while you are busy still working or still building. Your money will be having a second leg or third leg or fourth legs. And there are so many special vehicles that you can invest into. There are a lot of them when it is time. And also, why do we need to save? Because it helps us to enjoy debt-free purchases. I've mentioned about those who goes to the store, they pick clothes, and they pay for over a year. Something that is not an asset, but is a liability. It's liquidated. Even car. So many things like that. Because immediately you're driving a car out of the parking lot or from the garage, it loses value of 20%. I bought a TRG in 2021. It was customized in one of the country. And I told you guys, because it was text, I picked everything. I told them, if I'm going to resell this thing back to you guys in 6 months, what's going to be the return on investment? They said, you know what? We might be able to trade in, but you have to pay about 40%. I said, oh, even without even taking it out of that kit. Because it was actually built, it was customized for about, I think on Earth, for about 18 in that particular country. That one. Then I said to myself, well, this is just cool, because it's for exclusivity events that we have that for. So, when you save, it will help you to maximize opportunities when you can't be able to even have time for it. During COVID, some lost a lot of things. Even affected us in our company as well as a group. Out of our 21 businesses, we had about 16 closed down. And because those other businesses were stronger enough, we're able to. But now, most of those businesses are back now. But if you are able to save, you can be able to shuffle things around. You get it? So if you save, it will also help you during emergencies. Emergency doesn't give notification. It doesn't even let you know when it's going to happen. And imagine you're just driving out there, and your car just had an accident, and you don't have insurance. That's an emergency. Or you're walking on this road and you slip through. It's an emergency. When you save, you'll be able to know how to see and to keep things for unforeseen circumstances that are unforeseen. Imagine a case, God forbid, any of the family is being kidnapped. You want to start doing GoFundMe, or you want to start calling friends, or you want to start calling people to say, oh, brother, oh, sister. No. As a matter of fact, my practices and our practices is that you must have minimum of about 6 to 8% of your salary in savings before investing. If you are here today, maybe you make 10,000 rand, or you make 100,000, or you make 200,000. You need to know that for you to be in the class of middle class, and in middle class, there are 3 levels. There is upper middle class, there is middle class, and there is lower middle class. And if you want to be the rich also have cares for the worldly ones. And everything starts from the mindset. As we hear, everything is in the mindset. Everything starts with it. And your friends, I told some of my friends one day that we were just joking in the golf club. And I just said to them, you know that the bank balance is the average of everyone of us in here. All shocked. I said, yeah. Imagine how much you have in your bank account now as you're sitting down there. That is the average of the people you talk to. The people you belong to, the group of people. If it will warrant you to start thinking, do I need to change the group sets? Do I need to start changing where I go or who I call friends? And I always tell people that can you put a call through to your friend and say, I need 100,000 rand there. How many of a friend? Or 20,000 rand? How many of a friend will be able to say that? Some of them will just tell you, sorry guys. Ish. That's the story. Tell you, you know the story, my man. In this part of the world, it's ish everywhere. And when you save, it will also help you to know how to be financially free. Not that the pastor preaches or the youth leader preaches, or it will help you to walk free. It will help you to be able to plan. It will help you to live above the care of being poor. Because poor people always buy what they don't need. In our home, we always have the practices. That is it important? Do we really need it? We don't even allow people to come into our homes because we checkmate everything. We try all our best so that we can be more better. Not everybody you allow into your life, into your homes. Pastor always mentioned it on the altar here. And he also told us one day that it is not everywhere they call you to go that you go. No. It's not every expenses that are needed. You've got to cut down those things that are not needed. And when you look at this, it will help you to know how. If I can ask you on a daily basis, the money you spend, you write it down. You do a checkmate every month to see how much came in, how much went out. Do you have an accountant? Or do you have an accountable partner? Or friends that could keep a check of what you do? Gone are the days when I was in secondary school, I had about 4 businesses during my college days.